A new brewery is making its way to Lenoir City. Today, Lenoir City's mayor, Tony Akins, announced a new partnership with Bussell Distillery and Brewery Company. The city is letting the company use an old building downtown that once housed City Hall. The new business will include a restaurant, and this announcement comes after a meeting between the business and City Council to discuss how the business can actually help the community.
When we get those doors open, we want everybody to come and just be a place where people can gather, have a drink, have a good meal, talk to one another, get out, and just, embrace the community.
Mayor Akins says renovations should start in the next 90 days and it should open next year.